I think one of the biggest problems in activist spaces today is that we've been so consumed by the idea that we need to educate our oppressors. And no, we really don't. Because my philosophy on this is if we spend all of our time educating and teaching white people that white people have hurt us, then we never have time to actually make moves to fix things. White people are very much aware of their history. And if they're not, it's willful ignorance because all the resources are there. They're willfully ignorant if they don't know what's going on. And it's their responsibility to teach themselves. By putting that responsibility on us, we're taking away our ability to actually set forth plans and start working to fix the problems for ourselves.
So I used to be into the Myers-Briggs thing, right? Until I read the synopsis of one of Isabel Myers-Briggs' novels. I'm gonna read it to you now. I'm gonna just read it to you right now. One by one, members of a land-owning Southern family begin committing suicide when they are led to believe that there is in our veins a strain of Negro blood. Despite their differences, the detectives agree that it is better for the family to be dead than for them to be alive, heedlessly reproducing with white people. What the fuck is that? And yet somehow people are still paying these people $2,495 for certifications in the personality test that these ladies made up. Cool.
Let's talk about the Bible real quick, specifically the part of it that promotes. Everyone knows that Mary in the Bible is used as the epitome of what a woman should be like. She is the standard. But what if I told you she was literally a child? Like, literally a child. The original word used to describe her in the Bible did not mean virgin, it meant young. And she was young. While she was 13 at the time, Joseph would have been old enough to be her father. In his 40s to be exact. So she wasn't the Virgin Mary, she was the young Mary. And by using her as the expectation for women, by that I mean expecting them to be innocent and still somehow be mothers, and also expecting them to be small and fragile, we continue to perpetuate that same notion. You should really stand up for the flag. Someone died for your freedom. Why is my freedom in the Middle East? If you can understand why women and AFAB people are so conscious of men, why can't you understand why people of color are cautious of white people?
Some of y'all really think that overpopulation is the reason why our planet is dying. And it's not. Overconsumption is. And when you say that it's overpopulation, that argument is rooted in eugenics. Especially because if you look at who is over-consuming, it is not poor people. It is not minorities. Because if you look at who's suffering, I promise you it's black and brown people. We need to fix the overconsumption part, not the overpopulation part. We have enough resources for everybody. They're just unequally distributed.
Well, I was held in a slave from when I was born till I guess I was about 17 or 18. I really don't know because I couldn't count. But they said I was about 18. And we just been through so much. We didn't have no clothes to wear. We didn't have no shoes. We didn't have food to eat. We didn't have a bed to sleep in. We didn't have a house to live in. We slept on the grass or the dirt or the hay. We pulled the hay over on top of us for our cover. We had a croquet sack for our clothes.
So while all women go through sexual assault, you can see that it's taken a little more seriously with white women because they are seen as the damsel in distress.
So I saw this video and I had to talk about this. Trigger warning for sexual assault and rape. This book talks about everything sex violence. And when I say everything, I say everything. There is a chapter in here that is called No Means Yes. It talks about consenting in rape. People be like, oh, slavery was so long ago, it does not affect us anymore. The reason why Black women are so often not served justice in sexual assault cases because they cannot consent. What are you talking about? In the subsection, humans incapable of consenting, she talks about 3 different types of people: Black women, disabled people, and children. The reason why Black women's consent does not matter dates back to slavery. Because slaves were not autonomous agents, they were not conceived as possessing a meaningful free will, rendering any notion of consent meaningless. Hold on, I'm gonna have to make a part 2 about this because this is actually interesting.
I blame my friend for this question, but find me one thing in the world right now that we cannot blame on cisgender straight white men. One problem, just one, that we can't trace back to them.
If you want to watch part 1, click there. Trigger warning for rape and sexual assault. Now, like I stated before, slave women were not allowed to give consent because they were seen as property. The law treated rape of a slave woman as trespassing on the valuable property of the woman's master. So whenever there was a court case about a Black woman being raped, the master was the one who made the case, and it was about property, not about the woman herself being raped. What does this have to do with anything? This legacy of slavery continued well into the 20th century in the form of the myth that even free African American women could not be raped because they were naturally promiscuous. This then leads with the myth that most Black women give false allegations, but wait, this is what I found very interesting. We all know even after slavery, Black men were continued being lynched, right? Black women being raped was also a massive problem in the Black community. Let me read what they did instead of highlighting it. Even when the rape of Black women was acknowledged, it was in the context of the harm done to the Black men's pride, lynching. If you want to watch part 2, click there. Also part 1, trigger warning for sexual assault. I'm going to reread the quote fully, then I'm going to explain it. Even when the rape of Black women was acknowledged, it was in the context of the harm done to Black men's pride. Lynching of men rather than the rape of women became the symbol of African American subjugation. Now let me break down what happened within the Black community. Black women was being raped so much, quote, the rape of Black women in America was so commonplace that it excited no legal qualms, end quote. Black women were being raped so much that it was shameful upon the men because they could not protect their women against white perpetrators. So instead of attempting to protect this big problem, they decided to cover it up with the lynching of the Black men to protect their pride. So Black women rape was simply shoved underneath the rug. This is not a Black man is the weakest link thing, but this just showcased a time in when Black men failed to protect us and then instead decided to protect their pride. So yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Honestly, that's just how I feel about it, and I'd really appreciate it if you just respect my boundaries.
Whoa! 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 Whoa!
There's nothing I hate more than but no one cares when it happens to us as Latino. Bro, you don't even care about your own people until another group is talking about racism. If you were never out here fighting with us, or you never speak on issues the Latinx community faces until another group gets attention, you don't actually give a shit, and if you did, you'd know that other groups fight alongside us. Just say you're racist and go, you fucking weirdos.
Name a capitalist scam that we've all been conditioned to believe is totally okay.
Private property. Essentially, by creating a system of ownership, colonizers created a system of dispossession which allowed them to justify the removal and genocide of Native Indigenous peoples.
And what made you a
Because I own my body. My body is not a political playground. It's not a place for legislation. It's mine and it's my future.
So you're not a
Yes, you can be a because a is not what you made it, Jesse. A is what I made it. A boss getting money, taking the mic, turning life around.
So you are still a virgin, but yet you call yourself a
Wouldn't matter. I'm saying it doesn't matter if I'm a virgin. It doesn't matter what a woman's sexual history is. A is just a word that you and your fellow made. A is a word for anybody who's owning their sexuality, turning up, and not letting Jesse twist their answers around.
It's funny because Storm Keisha thinks she's gonna fuck up my sleep. Oh, I am so sorry.
Okay, so since I can see the writing on the wall, I'm going to say this unequivocally. I support Asian Americans and their need to be protected in society. I do see that the news and the police are going to ramp up his mental illness narrative, so let me say a couple things. 1, having a mental illness does not make you any more or less racist. If you're racist, you're racist. Disabled or not, mentally ill or not, you're racist. 2, racism is not a mental illness or a disability. You only want to treat it like a mental illness or disability.
And how does this country treat mental illness and disabilities? Think about it. 3, white, racist, disabled people exist. I can't believe I have to reiterate this so many times, but they exist. Like, okay? Ableism is a tool of white supremacy. Because while mental illness in Black, Indigenous, and people of color is used as a reasoning why we should be locked away, it is used as the reason why white men should go free. I wanted to talk to you all today about something that's called forced intimacy. Essentially, it's this idea that because disabled people are seen as oddities or in needing help, people force intimate relationships with us that don't actually know us. And this can take the form of people asking us intimate questions, like people who come up to me all the time and asking, "What's wrong with you?" Or people who grab at me or grab at my crutches. I was in an empty parking lot once and somebody came up behind me as I was trying to get in my car, bear hugged me and started lifting me off the ground. I started struggling and the guy got angry with me because he was just trying to help. When I told my non-disabled friends, female friends, women friends, that I was scared that he was going to try to assault me, rape me, or do something to me, they brushed it off because he had said that he was just trying to help. Despite the fact that disabled people are more likely to be victims of sexual assault, my friends didn't even think about the fact that I was scared that he would try to sexually assault me. And that's how pretty politics plays a role in discussions about rape. That's rape culture too.